it's Angie with News OK.
And Sherrel.
Sherrel is our passion for food columnist for the Oklahoman and for newsok.com. Okay, today we're going to do the second in our series of Oklahoma flavor, which is showing how we can use Oklahoma ingredients to make something wonderful.
Wonderful.
Wheaten biscuits today, is that right?
We're going to make what I call wheaten biscuits. You may have heard of beaten biscuits, but these are wheaten biscuits because we're using good old Oklahoma wheat flour.
Nice.
Not entirely, but we're using that mixed with some cake flour to make these biscuits.
Very nice. And the food is provided by Buy for Less.
Yes, it is. We have in here our cake flour, about 1.5 cups of that. And then I have about 1/2 cup of our wheat flour.
Okay.
I'm just going to kind of stir those up.
Sure.
And then I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of baking powder, or teaspoons, I'm sorry. And then we're going to have a little bit of baking soda, not much, just a pinch or 1/4 of a teaspoon. A little bit of salt. I like to put a tiny bit of sugar, just a small amount, no more than a tablespoon. And then I mix all that like so.
Okay.
This is 1 stick of butter. Now you could use shortening if you want, but then we're going to just cut this in with a pastry cutter. You can use a fork if you don't have one, or a couple of knives and just go back and forth. And we're going to just blend that in like this.
Very nice. Yeah, that takes some arm muscle.
Not much. It doesn't take a lot. And I just keep going through it till I get this in little bitty pieces. And if you want to have flakier biscuits, then you want to leave some larger pieces of butter in it. Same way with pie crust. And you notice the butter's getting smaller and smaller. And I wouldn't make it much smaller than pea size, just like a little pea, maybe 1/4 of an inch. You see we're getting there with this. And then I take my hands and I'm going to do just a little bit more to do it like this and kind of flatten out those little pieces of butter like this. And look what I'm doing. I'm lifting. I'm not going and shoving it down. I'm lifting it up like this and keeping it light and feathery. That's a very important part of making biscuits. So the next thing I'm going to put in is a couple of tablespoons of yogurt. And I'm going to add this, first of all, to 3/4 cup of buttermilk. And this is just plain yogurt. If you can get Oklahoma yogurt from Wagon Creek Creamery, that's great. And then I'm going to mix it with the buttermilk. And then I'm going to put it in the center of the dough. Kind of made a little well in the middle. And then I'm going to just start bringing the center in like this. And this is where you really want to be light. I'm just barely letting the dough come together. And that's the important part. We have a tendency, we want to mix it up so that you don't see any lumps. The lumps are fine.
Okay, well, Sherrel has put the flour out on the table. So what is next?
There are 3 techniques you can use to make biscuits, or probably more than that, but 3 basic techniques. If you want to make a drop biscuit, you can simply drop a little blob on the pan. And you can leave it like that or kind of mash it down. If I'm going to do it that way, I like to use one of those ice cream scoops that has the squeezy device, and you get an equal amount of dough every time. So you make more uniform biscuits even though they're drop biscuits. Another way is to put more flour down, or even have it in a big bowl, and you just take that same ice cream scoop and drop it in the flour, and you just toss it about like that, so to speak, whether you would roll it around like so.
So what way are we doing?
We are doing it where we're just going to pat the dough out on the flour, and I'm going to just move this around a little bit, put some flour on my hands. This is a 2.5 inch biscuit cutter, and these will be more of a flaky biscuit, and I like to top them with something. You could use cream. Just straight cream.
But this is butter.
This is just melted butter. So we're going to pop these in the oven.
For about how long?
Oh, 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
Just keep an eye on them. And every oven's a little different. And so I put them in an oven anywhere from 425 to 450.
Nice. Okay. Okay, while we have the wheaten biscuits in the oven, what do we have here?
This is an interesting dough. It's a dough for angel biscuits.
Ah,
So what I do, again, I just kind of pat it out. This one is not made with the whole wheat flour, it's just the regular flour.
Gotcha.
And what we're going to do here is pat it kind of thin, maybe 3/8 of an inch,
Okay.
like this. And then I like to brush a little butter.
First, okay.
And then I'm just using a glass, as you can see
Wow,
here.
very
to
nice.
cut it out. And then you just fold this over like that. And leave a little gap right there. And these are, I think of these as the angel's wings. And then that just goes in the pan. And I'm going to finish it off with a little more butter like so. And then we'll bake these as well.
Yeah, for how long?
Oh, again, 15 or 20 minutes.
Okay.
It takes till you're sure that it's done inside. You may want to get it nice and golden brown on the
Okay.
outside. Look at that, crunchy on the outside, moist on the inside.
Nice. Very
Steamy,
nice.
wonderful, hot.
Wow.
You can just pop in the butter,
Put a little
pop
bit of
on the
jelly.
jam, and it's hot as a pistol. But this is when biscuits are their best. So what do you think? Did we succeed? Is it crispy, little crust, and then...
She is good. Very good. It just melts in your mouth. It's great.
It does.
So if you want this delicious homemade recipe for biscuits, wheaten biscuits, and she'll have some other ideas, different biscuits in there
and
as well.
several biscuit recipes that you don't want to miss.
Definitely using Oklahoma ingredients. You can go to the Oklahoman, check out the life section for Sherrel Jones' Passion for Food column, and also on newsok.com. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's a great taste of Oklahoma.
It is.